What's going on, guys? Riley here from RP Productions, and today we're going to be reviewing the Atturo AZ850 street tires. So I've had these tires on my car for approximately 3 weeks now, put a decent amount of miles on them, and I've gotten to be pretty familiar with how they handle the road. Now the tires I've gone with are 275/40/20, so they are a little bit wider than the stock wheels that come on this particular car, which is a Dodge Charger Scat Pack. That puts down about 430 horsepower to the rear wheels. I made a video when I first got these tires, and a lot of people made fun of me when they found out how cheap these tires are. These particular tires, I spent $234 for 2 tires shipped right to my door. So $234, that was with shipping. I found mine for sale on eBay. There's a couple other sellers that also sell them, but eBay had free shipping, so I took advantage of that. Please excuse the car, it's absolutely filthy, and the tires look pretty dirty as well. Here's what they look like, all nice and cleaned up. So, they are some good looking tires, and it's, it blew my mind how cheap these tires actually are. And so I guess all that's left to do now is take you guys for a ride and start talking about these tires and see, are these cheap ass tires worth it, or do I regret buying them? All right, guys, let's go for a little drive and talk about some tires. So I want to start this off by letting you guys know it has rained all day, and so the roads are just now starting to dry up, but it's still pretty wet outside. So can't really do any hard accelerations today, although we'll see what they can actually do in some sort of wet conditions. But let's start talking. All right, so I won't lie, I bought these tires and I was really skeptical if they would actually be good tires or not, just because of how cheap they are. Also, Atturo is not a brand I've ever heard of before. It's not like Michelin or Pirelli or Nitto or some, well-known brand. So I was like, do I really want to put some kind of cheap knockoff tires on my nice car with a lot of power? Should I really do this? Well, after a lot of convincing from a few people in some Facebook groups, you know who you are, I couldn't be happier with these tires. I really couldn't. So I've been able to test these tires in both wet and dry conditions to really see what these tires can do in both environments. And to my surprise, these tires actually do very well in wet conditions. Yesterday it rained pretty much all day, pretty heavily, and I was driving around and I felt just fine with these tires. I mean, I was able to get on it just a little bit, accelerate at a sort of quick rate, and they would do fine. Obviously, if you put your foot in it, you will get sideways with them, but I would say that they are better than the stock tires that came on this car. So that was the one thing I was really worried about when I bought these tires, was okay, they might do okay in the dry, but if I get in the wet, can I actually drive my car? But you actually can, they do really well. Now the more practical question is, how do these tires do in the dry conditions, which most people are going to be driving around in every day? So my tires before, when I'd be sitting at 20 miles per hour and I'd punch it, they would spin pretty bad. These tires, I can sit at 20 miles per hour, punch it, and they hook. My best 0 to 60 time I've ever done with this car was on the stock tires, which was 4.4 seconds. Now that was done when it was cool outside, perfect conditions, everything like that. And so 4.4 with stock tires is actually a very good time. Now with the Atturos, the best I've got is a 4.5. Granted, it was very hot outside. The conditions just weren't that great. I had a full tank of gas and I still managed to get a 4.5 0 to 60 with them. So that implies once cooler weather rolls around and every factor is optimal for prime acceleration runs, these tires will do some pretty low 0 to 60s. Now I'm not saying these tires are going to hook like a drag radial, because they're not a drag radial, but what they will do is these tires, you can daily drive them and you can hook pretty darn well with them, and they're cheap. I mean, that's pretty good. One thing I can't comment on, which I'm curious to find out, is how much or how long will the tread life last? I mean, will I get 10,000 miles out of them? Will I get 20? Will I get more than that? So that's going to be, kind of a longevity test. We'll have to see. Will these tires just blow out on me in 100 miles? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. And here we go. See, didn't spin. Now that was a first gear pull, and it's decently wet outside. And I can't believe that blew my mind. I didn't spin. That was impressive. Now these tires are also a Y-rated speed tire, which means they're rated at 186 miles per hour. which is above the top speed of this car. I believe the top speed on this car is like 180-ish. So you can also go really fast with them. I don't know if I would necessarily want to go that fast with these tires. I don't know if I trust them totally. I mean, if they're rated that high, then I guess they're good, but I don't know. That's kind of cool to know that you theoretically could do that. Now here's a little 0 to 60 run I did with these tires on the first day I got them, before they had some miles on them and really went through a couple heat cycles to really, you know, reach their optimal stickiness. You can for sure hear the tires spin in that video, but it's not nearly as bad as the previous tires were, which were also 275 tires, and they were the Nitto 555 G2s. So comparing these tires directly to those Nittos, these tires are much better than the Nitto 555 G2s, specifically for the Dodge Charger. One thing I've learned about tires is sometimes a specific tire will do a lot better on a particular car. I think a lot of that has to do with how, you know, some cars sit, the weight distribution, just how much the cars weigh in general. You know, a big car like this, you know, a certain tire could do better on a bigger car, whereas another tire could do a lot better on a lighter car. One thing I really can't comment on is how well they handle, since I only have the ones in the rear. Reason I did that is because I wanted to test out their hooking capabilities from low speeds before I went and started to, you know, test out the handling capabilities on them. If they can go in a straight line fine, then I'm sure that they can handle fine. As I mentioned before, my personal best with these tires is a 4.5, but I can guarantee you it's going to be a lot lower than that once the temperatures go down. It's just so damn hot here, you can't get any good times. So for sure, once colder weather rolls around, I will do a lot of 0 to 60 testing to really tell what these tires can do. But I've seen some people on the Facebook group, they're getting very low 4-second, close to 4-second flat on stock Scat Packs when the temperatures and conditions are all right. If I'm able to hit a 4.0 with basically a stock Scat Pack and some Atturo cheap-ass tires, I will be very happy. So really, that's all I got for you guys today. Just basically me saying that these tires are great, and if you're on the fence about buying them, I would say definitely do it. At first, you know, they might spend a little bit on you. Once you put some miles on them and kind of let them go through their heat cycles, like I mentioned earlier, they will do a lot better for you, and I haven't had really any complaints with them. I really do like them, especially for the price. I mean, I feel like the prices might go up after me posting this video, but we'll see. So to all of you people that said these tires wouldn't hook just because they are inexpensive, well, they hook. So thank you guys for watching this video. Enjoy buying yourself a set of these tires, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy. Currently out here filming the tire review. Snapchat saw it first.